Imagine this. You're not just keeping up with the world, you're ahead of it. You see through the noise, not just reacting to it. Instead of getting swept up in the news of the day, you're thinking about the bigger picture. Strategic thinking is exactly that. It's meta-thinking. It's thinking about how you think, understanding the patterns behind decisions and how they affect the long game. But here's the kicker. Most people don't think strategically. They react. CNN drops a headline and suddenly everyone's an expert. But what happens when you zoom out? What happens when you look beyond the immediate and see where the world is heading, really heading? That's where the magic begins. Strategic thinking is more than a mental exercise. It's a survival skill. In a world that changes faster than your Wi-Fi connection drops during a Zoom call, you need to keep up. Actually, scratch that. You need to stay ahead. The key to this: pattern recognition. Whether it's countries, companies, or individual leaders, the art of strategy is about seeing the trade-offs. It's about watching the chessboard when everyone else is focused on the pawns. And here's the truth. Most people miss this. They're too busy reacting to the latest breaking news or the hottest stock tip. And look, it's easy to get caught up. We all do it. You hear a headline, and immediately your brain kicks into gear. You start framing it within your existing worldview, piecing together what you already know. But that's not strategic thinking. That's just a reflex. Real strategy? That's building a worldview that you constantly test, question, and evolve. Because the world moves. And if you don't move with it, you'll get left behind. Think about it. How often do you revisit the way you see the world? Most people's worldviews are fossilized, stuck in a time when Blockbuster was still a thing. Here's the truth. Any opinion you hold now, if left untouched, will eventually become outdated. Every worldview has an expiration date. So what do? You update it. You think strategically. You ask, what would challenge my beliefs? What would force me to reconsider my assumptions? How has the world changed in the last decade? How have I changed? The best strategic thinkers? They're curious. They love being wrong because it means they've learned something new. They seek out views that are different from their own, not because they're trying to win a debate, but because they know that's how you grow. Think of it this way. You were born in the US, so naturally, your worldview has been shaped by that experience. But what if you were born in China? Same person, different worldview. Strategic thinking isn't about pitting those views against each other. It's about understanding them, absorbing them, and using them to refine your own lens on the world. Now, if you're thinking, easier said than done, you're right. Challenging your own assumptions. It's tough. Your brain doesn't like it. It's like going to the gym. No one likes the first workout. But, as with any muscle, the more you work it, the easier it gets. Eventually, you'll crave it. You'll start seeking out those challenging perspectives because they'll make you sharper. This is what separates strategic thinkers from the rest. They don't look for echo chambers or easy answers. They actively engage with discomfort, knowing that real growth comes from friction. Take Nelson Mandela. He's one of the greatest strategic thinkers in modern history. Mandela wasn't just a man of immense courage. He was a man who understood the power of the long game. After decades in prison, he had every reason to seek immediate justice, to exact revenge. But he didn't. Why? Because he knew that the future of his country depended on a bigger vision, one that transcended short-term emotions. He could have taken the easy route, but instead he played the ultimate long game. And here's the lesson. Strategic thinking isn't about quick wins. It's about seeing the long road ahead and making choices that align with that vision, even if it means sacrificing the immediate payoff. That's the discipline you need to cultivate. So how do you train yourself to think like this? It starts with curiosity. Admit when you're wrong. Embrace different worldviews. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. And above all, keep asking questions, especially when the answers aren't what you expected. Let's go back to Mandela. His brilliance wasn't just in his resolve, but in his foresight. He understood that the future of South Africa wasn't about him, but about everyone. He placed the long-term success of the nation above personal grudges. That's the kind of thinking that shapes history. Now, before we wrap this up, ask yourself, are you stuck reacting or are you thinking ahead? Are you challenging your beliefs or are you letting them go staley? Because here's the thing, if you don't revisit your worldview regularly, it will become outdated. And if you're not evolving, you're becoming obsolete. But if you want to win in life, in business, and in everything you do, strategic thinking is the tool you can't afford to ignore. To dive even deeper into how you can start winning in life and business, check out our next video, What's Holding You Back from Winning in Life and Business? Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with others who need to level up their thinking, and subscribe to the channel for more insights on mastering the art of strategic decision-making. You're here to grow, so let's make it happen together.